VRS points, but help like well enough to even get us that second slot towards the, you know, the online qualifiers.
Yeah, but it doesn't even work like that anymore, Mac. It does not work like that, unfortunately, for Oceania. Like, that's what makes it even harder, is that it doesn't matter how well FlyQuest plays. Like, you just need to be in the top 6 teams in Asia. That means you're competing with Mongols, you're competing with Tyler, you're competing with Linvision. All of these teams that have the opportunity to play in, you know, the China quals, or like these, like, you know, XSE events, or as you've seen, there's like a couple of just random like Mongolia tournaments popping up here and there. You have to compete with all those teams. You have to get more VRS points than all of those teams. All that matters is that you are a top 6 team in Asia. It doesn't matter. There's no O split. There's no China split. There's no Mongolia split. So right now they're quite a ways off of the mark when it comes to the VRS ranking. So wins here, important. And SemperFi going to try and be on the front foot. Oh. That is a really nice pop flash there from Alistair. Catches both ASAP and TJP, but Terry somehow finding both the trades. Chell has been brought down by Keen, and already this pistol round has just been disrupted by SemperFi.
Yeah, not a bad little push, but Terry keeping Rooster in it for sure. And with everything happening so early in the round, they're going to like their chances at going back and taking this 2v1. Although Keen realizing that that certainly might be the case, so he'll just create a little bit of extra space, give up the con control.
Yeah. So we might just see Slimy baiting Terry a little bit here. If Terry can get one more, fantastic. If not, the job is going to be on the shoulders of Slimy to try to find the 1v3. And that's exactly where we find ourselves. So Slimy was spotted out there by Valiance. He's going to come walking back onto the line. We'll make it across to the monster tunnel. But SemperFi already well prepared for a B defense. Now, Ali may go down to a cheeky shot here if he's not careful, but gets his timing right on the peak. And a pretty nicely executed pistol strap from SemperFi. It seemed like they had a bit of a read on what Rooster was going to get up to there. A great flash in from Ali. And yeah, it sort of fell apart for SemperFi, or for Rooster as a result. But I will reiterate, though, you know, looking at the VRS ranking for Asia, right now SemperFi in 11th, Rooster in 14th, and they've got 800 and 751 points respectively. So to get up into 6th, which is where Huns is at the moment, they would need 973 points. So they are quite a ways off of that.
How do you even get that? Like, are they... Has it been long enough that the LAN points...
The LAN points are definitely fading away, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
For this match, SemperFi would win 17 points, Rooster would win 26.
So that's not a chunk towards what they need.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying, like, if you need 200 points, right? Let's say you need 200 points as SemperFi to kind of overtake the Huns. Plus, then obviously you have to take into account the fact that some of your previous points are going to be degrading, and they're going to be playing things like, you know, these local tournaments in Mongolia. So maybe you even need like 300, 400 points to actually be in the conversation. But let's just say for the argument, you need 200, and you're getting, well, how many off of this game did I say? 17 points. Yeah. You pretty much need to win like 10 to 15 of these series in a row online without losing. Plus, then also, as you're going up, those points that you gain from these series are going to lower. Like, by the time you're another 150 points up, the points will be maybe 15 instead of 17, or 13 instead of 17 per game. So you kind of just, it's like diminishing returns. You need to just keep winning. So that's why I say it's almost impossible for these teams to qualify for the major unless they win every single game in ESL Challenger League, and then also win the Extreme Sign qualifier, which is happening in Sydney in a couple of weeks. That's going to be the big one, because that's going to be the LAN points again. So very, very tough to be a team from Oceania at the moment.
Where's that running, by the way? Is it at the old internet cafes, or are we doing it somewhere different this time?
I believe it's an internet cafe. Yeah.
Okay. Well, into the first gun round we go. Nerdy statistics aside, you know, we'll talk about a little bit more of that later. It's incredibly relevant, but you guys just want to watch some Overpass. And Slimy, he wants to be tapping some heads here. Eyes towards long for him. Bomb looking to make its way towards short side. And Rooster not spending too much util, just going dry, and that's going to get it done onto at least Ali. Shady. Traded out in con there. And Keen towards long. Ready the needle for one. Spots the shadow. Almost gets a big triple. But down to the 2v2 again. So SemperFi still in the round. Even though Rooster got a couple of nice openings.
Yeah, pretty sort of forward style from SemperFi so far on this CT side, isn't it? Like they're not letting Rooster take any space for free. They're not really letting Rooster set up these T rounds the way that they'd like to. They're kind of just playing that disruptive style, both on the top side and the bottom side of the map. You can see obviously Valiance is pushed out into short water there as well. So SemperFi really trying to be a bit of a pain for Rooster as they work their way through this T side. It hasn't necessarily panned out in this round. As you mentioned, we're back into a 2v2 and Rooster have been able to walk their way up on the side. They can plant at dice if they'd like to, but they probably want to be clearing out long first. Maybe Savage being spotted out here in his position as well. So he'll just back it up. Smoke's going to go down. Rooster do get that planned, and now we're kind of waiting on this flank from Valiance, which Slimy needs to be aware of. Has just transitioned back over to Truck. It's a two-player setup at Truck, which is a little bit unorthodox. Valiance will be traded back down. Now it's on to Slimy, 1v1 against Savage, who is full HP. So Slimy will need a headshot here, and they're just jostling for that position. The headshot does go through, but it's gone through the wall, and Savage will win the duel just in time to get that defuse through. And it's another round for SemperFi.
Awkward little fight there from the Truck. But they get it done regardless, and SemperFi keep it relatively clean if you're looking at the scoreline. 3-0. That was a costly one for that CT economy. There's been a few of those now. With the reinvestment, it'll be a swing round, I believe. So with the bomb plant and the round loss bonus, Rooster will be forcing back up into this one. They understand that if they can win it, there's probably a good chance of them to stack a few rounds on in a row. Savage, just default utility over towards short, just looking to take that early control. And Ali chips down, has the helping hand from Keen around the corner, off angle, good for a shot or two. Whoa. Threads the needle back into safety, but he is hungry for more.
I guess that's been a bit hard done by there. I think the trade needs to come through if he's going to be shouldering around that corner with two players right behind him. He cops, I think, a couple of bullets in the back of the head there as well. Spam from short as he's trying to clear out Alistair. And then the rest of Rooster kind of just standing there and not able to accelerate and catch Alistair's position. So Rooster down a player again, even despite the fact that they do take that sort of underpass control, connector control. It's not really as valuable when you give up a player for it. Not to mention a lot of damage done to Slimy, and Terry and Chell also tagged up a little bit. This is a good spot to be in for SemperFi. Ali's just being allowed to kind of do what he wants. Sort of just walking in onto these lines with the AWP. And he knows there's a couple of other players in the bathroom as well, so he'll go hunting for them, and he's just not having any difficulty at all. Rooster finding it very difficult to disrupt Alistair. So this round looks like it's going to be an easy one for SemperFi.
You don't back Misery 777.
I do not. Played a game of Rust or two with this Misery 777 guy, and you know, he can hang with the best of them on Rust, but I don't know if he knows the spray control on CS2. Like, it's a bit harder.
Yeah, of course, especially with the Galil, that thing. Oof, you can lose that real quick. Good to see Ali, the player to watch, starting to fire up there with the AWP.
Yeah, just not really getting the sense that Rooster are feeling too comfortable on this T side. I don't know if you're feeling the same, Mac, but you know, they're not like moving too swiftly through the map. Their adjustments to what SemperFi are getting up to are not feeling like they're like automatic, right? Like there's no like swift decision making happening. It's kind of like a conversation's having to happen. Rooster are kind of like milling around a little bit, sort of shift walking around corners and stuff like that. I don't know how comfortable they are just yet on this T side.
Mm. Yeah, I think their protocols aren't looking red hot, although it is the first map of the series, still early days.
Yeah, but it's their pick.
That's true. But it's one of these situations where, the meta is heavily CT favored. And
True.
Rooster, they have gotten down to the 1v1s in 2, 3 of these rounds so far. Maybe not 3, probably 2.
But 3 is a bit ambitious. I think it's
3 is very
actually.
ambitious.
I think it's actually 1.
Yeah, maybe it's 1, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, TJP is going to go down on short. And again, the rest of Rooster kind of just shift walking their way around the map. What's the plan right now?
SemperFi plan.
Yeah, this could be interesting though. Alistair has made a couple of steps, so ASAP's going to try and cut him off. Not going to need the trade from Terry. This is starting to work out. SemperFi getting maybe a little bit over-eager, but it won't matter in the end, even despite the damage being done. Shady and Savage surviving low HP. Valiance was healthy. 3 players up for SemperFi. That's an acceptable round. That was probably the first round where it looked like, maybe SemperFi were caught out in any given moment. That kill from Keen onto Keen, and that kill from ASAP onto Alistair. There was a swing moment in that round for sure. But once again, SemperFi just taking so much map control. It feels like SemperFi have the whole map at any given time.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Maybe
Rooster play a default here, please.
We haven't seen too much early utility either from Rooster, the usual bits you'd see Smokes to take that bathroom control. They haven't needed to this round. You can see that SemperFi were expecting something faster towards that B site. Putting 4 members there early, taking that full control.
Is that aggression coming through again, and it's you've got to be expecting this aggression. SemperFi have been doing this every single round. Not necessarily that exact play, but they have been doing aggressive play up through bathrooms, through short water, out monster. We've seen it now probably, 4 out of 5 rounds, including the pistol. So I feel like Rooster, they're kind of having these 4-1 splits, and then your solo player, in this case, it's been TJP 2 rounds in a row. Last round, he dies on short, trying to have a little bit of a look into B. This time, he just dies outside Monster Tunnel, trying to hold space, and they're not doing anything elsewhere, right? Either with those 4 players, you need to take some territory, or maybe reinforce, have a bit more of a default setup, someone ready to trade TJP there, or I don't know, but they are just kind of letting SemperFi walk all over them, and this CT side, it's looking fantastic, and Rooster just don't seem to have an answer.
Maybe it is due to a lack of reps. By the way, they're going to be picking one more off. Fast flank out of Keen, who will deny the plant and stop what should have been another buy into the next. But at this point, 6-0, Rooster might still just go a little heavy on the buy regardless.
I mean, I think you definitely at least pistol armor here. You've got that much loss bonus that you can afford to buy down to 1.5K. So they're going to go for Tech 9s and armor. And, at this point, I think with a buy like this, you do just kind of have to try and do something fast if you're Rooster, because SemperFi have been far too good in these sort of mid-rounds and finding the picks, and the Tech 9s aren't going to be able to hold up to that, right? I don't think you can really default with Tech 9 armor. So I like the fact that they're putting a bit of early pressure on the B side here. TJP, making a couple of footsteps. They're going to try and flash their way through Monster Tunnel. Look, it's not going to work. It doesn't look like, but I like the approach at least, right? You're kind of making SemperFi work a little bit for this round. Couple of nice kills do come through.
Yeah. It was a good setup for SemperFi just to counter that as well. You had Valiance playing close at Wood, able just to pivot off the contact, off that initial flash through Monster. And TJ was doing everything he could just to bait out utility and draw attention towards short. But inevitably, big round again out of SemperFi. Nice read and ready just to adapt off the back of not taking short control. It feels like this was one of the first rounds they haven't actually gone for it too early. But Rooster, of course, throwing that short molly, just signaling that is what they were after this time.
Oh,
and it's good to see that SemperFi are just, doing all the right things here on the CT side.
Yeah. So we've got Chell with the AWP this time around. So that's something a little bit different. See if maybe he can find an opener somewhere. Just kind of waiting for that aggression out from SemperFi by Playground. Keen obviously floating around doing whatever he wants. And we'll see. I mean, Rooster, in this instance, it does look like they are set up to try and wait for that aggression from SemperFi, right? But this is the point in the half where SemperFi think, well, we've kind of conditioned them enough by playing aggressive every single round that this time we're not actually going to do anything. And so it ends up being Rooster just wasting a lot of time waiting for a push. Although I will say there is a bit of a push out on long. So there is still something happening for SemperFi. They're not really seeing anything on the top side of the map. So they're thinking, okay, maybe the B site's where we're going to have to head. And so Shady's slowly but surely kind of on his way down. ASAP will win himself a duel against Savage. But here we go. This is the first opener for Rooster that has been favorable. They've got themselves a 4-on-3. Now we'll see if they can figure out a way to close it out. And that will be a very helpful kill from TJP through the monster tunnel smoke to kill Savage. Yeah. So Rooster will take a sigh of relief as they do find what I imagine to be will be their first round of the half.
It's all right. Still a potential 5 to find.
Yeah,
that's
look,
what we're talking about.
If they could get 4, from here, I think that's a pretty good half, actually.
It's going to be the rough way to do it, though. You look at everything that's currently there for them and everything that's currently there for SemperFi. So Rooster really need to worry about their own economy. The SemperFi are right for this round and the next, and then probably the next.
Is Overpass the most CT-sided map in the pool at the moment, or is it Train?
I
it's on the numbers.
Train was, but I will crank open my resource just for you.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, just kind of want to get a bit of an idea of where Rooster maybe needs to get. Oh, that's really nice from Slimy. Good clean kill onto Alistair, who was flashed out by Chell. Starting to come together a little bit here for Rooster now. A bit more of a confident peek out from Slimy there. And they're disrupting SemperFi's aggression. So it seems like they're finally kind of like pulling up their bootstraps a little bit and deciding that they do want to play this T-side instead of letting SemperFi really dictate it.
Trained by 1% of 1 or 2% of CT rounds. So,
but this is still quite a CT-sided map at the moment. So
yeah, it is the second CT-sidedest of the maps, and then Nuke not too far behind.
So yeah, I think 4 would actually be pretty all right for Rooster if they could get there. This is interesting from Chell. See what Savage is going to get up to. Making a bit of noise. Savage close, Shady there as well. Gonna get that smoke down. Savage has kind of done himself a little bit dirty there, and that's really undone Shady's position as well. So nice heads-up play from ASAP, just getting in front of that smoke as it's tossed, and that'll be a round for Rooster. I think if Savage wanted to throw that smoke, he needed to do it a little bit earlier before the players were already on top of him.
Yeah.
And obviously, he threw it in response to the jump that Chell did. But Chell was like literally right next to him when he jumped, so awkward timing for Savage.
Well, that'll be a second, though. And as we were talking about, Rooster keeping it clean. Fully clean? Looking like it will be. Team just hiding around the corner. Will take one away. Get the upgrade to the AK, so it's not all bad.
Oh, Chell got the wallbang onto Savage in all of that as well. I didn't even realize until I saw the replay there. Yeah, Savage was well cooked. He'd have been better off not throwing the smoke. Just playing the contact. Because then at least maybe Shady might have been able to trade him. Either way, 7-2 the score here. Rooster starting to make some inroads back again. It will be another buy round for SemperFi after this one if Rooster do win it, but if Rooster can win 2 more gun rounds, they might actually get to 5. Because money will be getting pretty grim for SemperFi at that point. Depending on how many guns they've got alive, I guess. Like,
yeah.
They can save.
Slower approach now. And you can see the respect that SemperFi is giving after the prior rounds. Zap looking for anything with that wallbang, but won't be successful. Rooster really just letting that time trickle down. You can see there's so many incens, so much util still left for SemperFi to deny, to buy time, but all Shady blinded will force Savage to get off of the sandbags. And the double up on short, I don't hate it.
Triple up. Oh, there's 3 players. They have been smoked off, but you're right, it's worked out. Rooster are going to really struggle to get a bomb plant now. 20 seconds left in this round. Terry and ASAP are going to have to come up huge. Smoke for window. That will negate some of Alice's impact, but I don't know how you get a bomb plant here. It's just too much control. Oh, what is that? Oh my god, that was almost... Like, if the bomb goes down there, I wonder if ASAP could actually win that round. That might be the worst spray I've ever seen from Keen. Got out Keen one time.
Online CS does some numbers sometimes, you know.
He's not going to want to see that one again.
I want to watch it again. Like, the crosshair was fine at the start.
I think the spray was actually okay. I feel like it just started in the wrong spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, that was pretty bad, but it's all good. It doesn't matter. I just thought it was funny.
Maybe he thinks you're funny.
Probably he does. Anyway, that's a nice round to pull back for SemperFi because it does just sort of salvage the money a little bit for them for the rest of this half. Oh, and double nade into Terry's position. ASAP standing there as well. Copping a bit of a beating. This connector control, something that has been fought for a couple of times.
Ali, the solo A player right now on 23 health. We'll call for that rotate coming through from Savage, who's having a really good game, all things considered. A couple of little clutches in the mix, 11 and 4. And Rooster again, just going silently. Chell trying to find himself an opening, and oh, he will do so. Savage falling. Alistair trying to catch a timing. Oh, got the time.
Yes.
But unfortunately, just didn't hit the shot.
I mean, I don't mind that from Alistair at all. I think that's a really good play, actually. He's just missed the shot, that's all. Chell also, to be fair, missing his shot back in response. Maybe not quite anticipating someone there that soon. His kill from Chell has given Rooster a little bit of a sniff back into this round, but with 20 seconds left, Valiance might just win it. Chell needs to hit this shot, and he does. That's big. He's going to be able to hold on to short and short water, although Keen is coming in behind him. Slimy looking to pick up 2. There's 1 and 2. And Keen's position noted. Won't be able to deny the bomb plant, but he can jump in here to try and close the round out. Not going to happen. Rooster get themselves 3, and we actually do go into the final round of the half in a position where both teams actually have a lot to play for this last round. It has felt like it's been a SemperFi dominated half, but you do get the sense that if Rooster can win this round, they might actually have just done enough.
Let's see what they end up doing. SemperFi. Money finally almost broken. That ult will still survive across. Utility slightly thinner. And Rooster putting pressure back towards connector yet once more. Oh, we're going to sandbags boost. Savage. He's spotted. He got wallbags. Chell was ready for it. That's crazy.
I was looking at him. Chell was like, what is that? Unfortunately for him, yeah, that 9 HP wonder Savage gets the kill. Terry's able to pull one back. Keen also very low. He's been spotted out. His little toesies have been chopped off by Terry. Shady copping a beating as well on that engagement to find the trade. So bomb needs to be retrieved here by Terry. This is big from ASAP. This walk up on A. Again, just activating in a couple of key moments in a couple of key rounds ASAP. And I think his, couple of kills onto... It was Savage and Shady in that earlier round, and now that walk up into A might just be enough to win Rooster 2 of their potential 4 rounds. Slimy in a great spot here as well to cut off the rotation up from Connector. Oh, it's that incent down as well. Valiant's now having to step. He's going to give away his position, and Terry does not want a bar of it. He's got his jogging shoes on, but he actually might not be there quick enough. ASAP needs to help him out. Oh, did they not hear Valiant's? I don't know. Now it's all on to ASAP, who has to get this one done solo. Just retrieving the bomb, but taking the fight and winning it. 8-4 is the score at the end of the half.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice, all these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of on my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock or Rolex account or blue face. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could light the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and
Well, second half pistol is about to be underway. Scoreline 8-4. It looked like a first half that was going to be dominated by SemperFi. Rooster was able to pull back a couple of important rounds on the T side, and now it does kind of come down to this CT pistol. If Rooster can grab it, then we may be in a conversation for a potential map win. But right now, SemperFi looking pretty comfortable. Make their way up the connector.
Shell. Waiting. Oh, but that time it ends up working out for him somehow. Sap knocking on the door to find all 3 in connector. Bomb on the floor, and this round is looking incredibly unwinnable for the deadly duo left here for SemperFi. Make it just savage. 12 and 6 is going to have to get the 1v5 ace to even be in this conversation.
Yeah, Chell looking pretty sharp with the USP. Definitely didn't feel like he had a great grasp of the timing there, but the shots connected. That's what matters. So now Savage will just have a look and see if he can find any extra cash on his way out here. You know, pop a head or two. Unlikely to even get a bomb plant, frankly. But if he can, you know, maybe take down Chell and ASAP, who are the players in Connector, get himself an extra few $100 extra. There's one. So up to 450 now. It's a start.
Yeah, look, that time's against him. Smoke and 3 CTs through it. A valiant attempt. That'll be 5 on the board for Rooster. CT pistol that was desperately needed just to try to have themselves forced back into this conversation. Crazy couple of shots out of Chell there. The man with full domination towards con side.
Well, one step of the way.
Next we go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's look, it's early days obviously for Rooster, but that is how they'd want their map to be progressing.
I got one for you, Jordan.
Okay.
Oh, while we're on the pistols, are you a Jats or a Ritz guy?
I'm a Riz guy. I'm a Rizzler.
Riz guy.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. So you're not into the crackers yourself?
Not really, to be honest. I think if I was to go for Jats versus Ritz, I would go Jats.
But what would you go for if there was other options? Are you more of a gourmet kind of fella, or are you on just the rice crackers?
Like, are you asking if I'm like entertaining, or if I'm eating it on my own, or like there's a lot of context?
Yeah, yourself. I don't care if you got friends that want to eat them. It's about you, baby.
I do go for those like corn thins. I like the corn thins.
Corn thins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Rice thins or whatever, like they're like rice crackers. Are they called rice crackers? People have different names for them. No, corn thins. Corn thins, not rice crackers. Corn thins. Corn thins are what I'm talking.
I have a feeling it's like a corn like cake. You know what I mean? Like a thin,
it's like the circular corn, puffy corn circular thing. It's quite light.
Right, but at that point, it's not a cracker. It's a
no, but it's
thing. Yeah,
but it's a similar like flavor sort of profile, if you will.
I was definitely I got around them for a little while too, though.
They are good, yeah.
Nice. It's kind of like popcorn cakes, you know?
Exactly.
It's literally.
By the way, I had one of them like popcorn. You know, like you can get like popcorns in a chip bag now, like in chips like you buy from the Coles or from the Woolies.
A bag of popcorn. Yep.
Yeah, not from like pre-pop popcorn, not from like
popcorn
cinema. Yep. That was actually really good. I was like, wow, this popcorn's amazing. Like, how have I not known this?
Yeah, those
honestly
packets.
Unironically, like better than popped popcorn. I reckon.
I've been getting them for years. Is it the Cobs? You getting those?
No, I'm talking about the stuff that you get pre-popped. Sorry, not the one that you pop yourself.
Yeah, but the brand's called Cobs, isn't it? That blue and green packet.
I don't know what brand it was. I can't remember. It was pretty good. Anyway, we've got a gun round here. Chell has missed a shot. Oh, he's still looking for more. He doesn't have any backup here. That was a bit of a over-eager play from Chell, I'll say. Slimy has to work hard to try to salvage it. Can't. And now Misery is feeling like he's living up to his name as he gets banged out as well. It's 4v2. Bit of an awkward one for Rooster. The setup on the A side just not looking like it was 100% coordinated. And that'll be probably the first round on the board for SemperFi in the second half.
Yeah, they'll take that for sure. Terry and Sap both just going to be looking to keep the M4A1Ss alive. Decent utility on Sap as well. It's an extra work, like $800, as well as the kit carried across to the next. So you'll take that every day, and you're looking at the money left in stock for Slimy, for TJ, and for Chell. they're going to be able to buy. Terry can drop across. So they will be warranted another shot moving into the next. But yeah, SemperFi, first gun round secured. And with 4 alive at the end of it, it's going to be solid for their econ. Chell, very much between a rock and a hard place there. Didn't have that helping hand up towards the A site to watch the bathroom swing in time. And it was costly in the end. Into the 16th. As mentioned, Rooster, pretty much everything they need bought into the round. What are we going to see SemperFi go for here? 2-3 split. Presence in con. Looking pretty good for the initial phases of the round.
Rooster can't really afford to be losing this round, though. If they do lose this one, the game's probably done at that point. They don't have enough money in the next round. They'll be down something like 11-6. And I'm not really seeing them come back from that. So if they want to stay in this contest, they do need to win this round, probably with at least 2 or 3 guns alive. Again, playing a bit of a forward hold Rooster, but it's not quite the same aggressive style as what we've been seeing from SemperFi on their CT side. This is a bit more of a reserved setup.
Yeah.
Where they take forward positions, but they're not actively looking to push into fights. They're having to take that space and then just hold it.
Blimey. Not ready to clear close. Flash. Not deep enough to hit towards Keen, but TJ locking onto long control. But for how long? Ali able to trade a little later. Chell finding that refrag onto Keen. And in the meanwhile, that will trigger the rotation back up towards this A site. SemperFi slowing down. Just thinking about using some util. Ali just trying to stay posted towards that bank line. Fully invested to stop Chell from swinging too wide out. And Shady falling puts Rooster in a good position to close. Chell and Sap just playing off one another. And Ali in the open. 12 seconds. Can't go for the rotate. We'll have to commit here with the smoke on site.
Oh. Nade into that smoke. Terry has spotted him out, but he's allowed that bomb plant to go down. And this is where it does start to get awkward. Alistair needs only one shot. Terry up over the top, expecting him somewhere in the smoke maybe, but Alistair just lurking around the outside of it will win a very important round for SemperFi. It will be an economic break for the CT side, and I think that puts Rooster up the creek without a paddle, and they're trying to go up the waterfall as well. So the comeback attempt here on Overpass doesn't look like it's going to eventuate.
All right. What's the plan this time? Chell missed opportunity with the scout and will be left very solo once again towards the A site. Last approach towards long. Flash lets Chell know that there should be some visitors over towards that side of the map, and the rest of Rooster, as you can see on the mini-map, are very much all locked in towards that B site. A lot of weight on Chell's shoulders here. Oh! And he won't succeed this time.
Yeah, SemperFi. Easy to pick this round up for themselves. On Planet Dice, and I don't even know if Rooster are going to really feel like they want to go for anything here, but I suppose they may as well see if they can grab a gun or two. Slimy going to lead the way with that P250. Resmoke's going to come through. DJ's got himself a flash lined up. So just a late attempt on the exit here from Rooster, I imagine, to see if they can find an exit frag or two. Flash is going to go out in a second as ASAP's in position now. Or maybe the flash came through a little bit too little too late. I don't know. Nice pick up with the nade, actually, from Terry. They do a bit of damage. I don't know how much this bomb damage is going to be. Ooh, enough for Valiance as well. So it ends up being a pretty costly round for SemperFi. But again, when you're up 11-6 on the T side, you're probably not too concerned about that.
2 more necessary for SemperFi to close this out. And so far, more success earlier on in the half on this T side than what we saw from Rooster. SemperFi showing them how it's done. But the full buy is back for the Rooster members. And again, just going to go for the 1-4 split. Chell posted on long. SemperFi going to flash and fight for short control. It's connected that they're after first. TJ hunting for some free damage with the wallbang. And a silent contact back towards short. Look at this timing. Ali. I don't think he's seen the silencer, but extra U2 are going to be tossed around. That's going to be heard over towards the sandbag side. Ali just hoping he's posted on the right point at the right time. With another resmoke towards Monster. Terry's still able to sit on the short side of the canal. Sap finally getting the info on the AWP's position. Savage getting ready to go for the full execute.
And not a lot of delaying util left here for Rooster. Only 30 seconds left for SemperFi though. So we're going to have to start to make their inroads shortly. And that smoke in the monster tunnel lasting long enough that they're going to try and push their way through it. Slimy up here on A, not really getting up to too much, but 3 on 3. They've got to find a way to dig out Terra. And I don't know that he's been given away yet. That's an important kill. It will slow things down for SemperFi. I'm not sure that it'll slow them down enough. Savage has got the bomb. Shady's got the forward position. Plant can't come through. Oh, and if Shady gets that kill, it might have been round over. Savage in the end will get an important one onto Chell and doubles down onto Slimy. So the 2v2 doesn't really amount to a whole lot. SemperFi go up 12 and 6. And it looks like we're just getting another Groundhog Day between SemperFi and Rooster where it's all the way of SemperFi.
Take a look at it again. Lovely entry work and the 2v2. It felt like Rooster just didn't stand a chance there. Savage having a beautiful day at the office. Look at this, 17 and 10. Everyone else all pulling their own weights as well. Oh, and look at this timing. Flash forward. Terry, get that inside out as soon as he can, which will buy some space towards the wood side. Sap able to find one. Shell can't connect. Just dancing in the flames, which in hindsight might not have been the best idea. Terry still waiting and hoping he can find something, but attention drawn towards that smoke push. Beautiful trade game displayed by SemperFi, and in the 1v3, a Famis is not the best tool for the job, but Slimy gave it a good crack regardless. 13 to 6, and SemperFi, that was a beautiful display here on Overpass.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think there's definitely a lot that Rooster could...
One of his TJ games in a hot minute, it seems. So maybe it's time for them all to, you know, use their powers combined and show us exactly the Rooster of old that we all kind of expect to watch when Rooster are playing.
Yeah, fair. I mean, Nuke is a map that they do play a bit. They have some reasonable numbers on it. The only issue is that the last time they played SemperFi on it, they lost at 13 to 3. So not exactly going to be writing home about that one. We'll see if that changes today. Valiance here at ramp gets his head banged off, kind of overstays his welcome there with the USP. Gets a couple of shots in, maybe should have backed off down the ramp. Instead, he wanted to fight, and now it's on to Shady to try to hold on to this B bomb site. Quick rotate coming down from Savage, but not hitting enough shots to make a difference, and it's down to just Alistair here in what was a 1v4. Now a 1v3, and now a none v3. Pissed around on the board for Rooster. And they chose to start T as well, Mac.
Oh, they have. There you go. That's a choice. One of the choices of all time. But maybe they're backing themselves. And look, the T pistol in the bag is a great way to start that T side. Should instill them with a little bit more confidence. Moving into the second. SemperFi going to force in. On smoke, couple of flashes and a crunch on the cards. Or at least some contact towards trophy side. set up on the short side. One and done position for them all, but it's a creep back towards outside instead. Looked like Rooster were kind of anticipating that lobby crunch, sending members there early. Now it could just be Slimy left as a sacrificial lamb as everyone else. Happy to go with the diags. Flash across Secret. Chell spotting Ali, who's going to be stuck there. That molly won't spread like intended. And TJ going in with the bangers. Should... Oh, okay. Won't be able to stand tall. Ali still tucked away in the corner. Molly spreads perfectly this time. And everything working out perfectly except for that. Savage. Finding an upgrade and attention drawn away from him, but the A site is locked onto by Rooster. Flash forward, Savage. Give it to the red hot crack. Good for one. But that'll be 2 on the board for Rooster, and I don't think that's enough financial damage to warrant another buy from SemperFi, but they have enough there to just get some 5-7s, give themselves a shot.
Yeah, not a bad crack from them. Didn't hate the setup, but good work from Rooster to dig it out nicely. And as you said,
I really like
there.
where Slimy was playing from that round. Just up on the T roof, able to watch the push into spawn, as well as anyone coming up the ladder. You don't see that super regularly, but it's nice and passive and does allow the CTs to take that lobby control, but also stops a flank from happening.
It's a Sharpie from Keen. It's the end of Chell. Now Rooster have to worry a little bit more about that push from Trophy. 1 for 1 though, as Savage also went down on top hut. Keen still having a bit of a look here. Looks like it's going to be a lobby crunch. Shady poking his way around there. He's going to lose his head to Terry. I thought it was going to be a lobby crunch because I thought Keen was going to go as well, but he didn't. Just still trying to find some picks on that angle with the Deagle, this time shut down by TJP. So the round doesn't look like it's going to eventuate into a whole lot here for SemperFi, and Rooster making the call to go down B. We'll further extrapolate that.
Ali.
Oi. Oi.
Showing some toes.
Oi. Oi. Ali's just trying to sell some toe pictures to Terry, and Terry's not biting.
Yeah, Terry just wasn't shooting. There's someone else from behind him that took the bait. Ali, though, it's a $600 kill reward for Slimy, who is happy to hunt there with the MAC-10, and Valiant's hoping that he can carry across some extra firepower onto that CT side for the next. They themselves having to invest into another rifle, but Slimy got tool for the job. Oh, and the great approach too.
Yeah, what are you going to do? All right. Game's underway for Rooster, there's no doubt about that. But yet to really see SemperFi get involved. Got a bit more to do. First gun round, though, will be a bit of a tell-all. If this ends up being a super clean one for SemperFi, I think we'll be headed in much the same direction as Overpass. But if Rooster can roll this one over, then potentially a map 3 starts to feel like a realistic possibility, because Rooster's still kind of feeling like they're a bit down and out. But it's not over yet. That's a really nice entry into the A site. They throw something fast, and it's enough to catch both Keen and Savage, both caught by the flashes. And that'll just be a rounded save for Rooster. I think SemperFi will want to save here.
Yeah, given nothing after the bomb goes down, so they're going to be happy as anything to keep 3 weapons alive into the next, especially high priority on the AWP. Can potentially be a difference maker in the next round. 4 alive for Rooster. Economy looking pretty good as the rounds keep rolling in their way. And who knows, maybe it was just, Rooster coming in, feeling a bit more confident on their T side, so they've gone for it. Last time they played, was it CT side start? Let me have a look.
While you do that, I'll say I don't mind seeing them play a little bit more confident here on this T side. I mean, it's a far cry from what we saw on Overpass, where they were really feeling quite toothless. But they come out the gates quite strong here, really throwing the fight back at SemperFi. So SemperFi going to have to come up with some answers. They'll look for a little bit of out of control this round. Molly deep there is going to set Ali up as well. So lots of presence on outer for SemperFi here. But Rooster not really too interested in that. Again, a much more default setup from Rooster in this round.
Yeah, it was a CT side start last time, which didn't go right. And their T side start in the second half never started. It was 0-4. So maybe Rooster thinking, all right, well, that didn't work. Let's go for the T side start instead. And hey, the change has already netted them more rounds than last time they played. That being said, SemperFi firing the hell up. 4 kills out of bloody nowhere. The Outers brawl goes mostly in their favor, but TJ, gun out at the ready. 12 in the magazine and looking to keep on fragging. Oh, knows he's got the isolated fight and he's happy to take that one. 1 bullet between the grave and both of these individuals. Molly buys some space. But TJ, just barely threads that needle down the vent. And I don't think Valiant saw it on the map either. But he will hear that door open.
Bomb has been planted.
And it's anyone's round.
Yeah, it's a bold peek to take for Valiant there. He could just be pretty much dead if TJP's coming around the corner from Decon, but knows he has to take that space, and onus is really on him. A bit of a 50-50 position here for TJ. If he looks in the wrong direction at the wrong time, he will lose this round if Valiant walks out, and he has. Fortunate. Just takes that gamble and loses on the timing. So first round on the board for SemperFi. It's not a great round. It's down to just the 1 gun. So it will keep Rooster pretty happy economically speaking, but some more work to be done. A good effort from TJ to at least keep this game as competitive as it can be for Rooster, even despite the round loss.
Yeah. I think the theory of that position is just the fact that he didn't have a read on where Valiant was at that point, didn't see him at the door, never took that contact, but he knew that he was that ramp member. So thought he would be over towards that ramp side, mega side. But alas, maybe thinking isn't TJ's strong point.
Okay. Done him a little bit dirty there.
Look, I'm talking his mechanics. His raw mechanics are his strong point. You saw the rest of that round? Yeah. Highlight the positives, Jordan. Just spun it with the negative.
Well, what's ASAP going to get up to here? A smoked off warehouse. That's going to negate the impact of Alistair, but Valiant's taking the peak on the timing. Will catch him off guard. So the isolated member of Rooster has now been taken down. Keenan Savage looking to maybe get aggressive around Squeaky, just kind of making a meal of it. I don't think that was super necessary given they had the 4-on-3 advantage. It's allowed Slimy that double kill, and it's allowed Rooster back into the A side and probably just to win this round. SemperFi don't really have the money to be feeling too confident about a contest here, though Ali wants to have a little bit of a look. Nade's not going to claim anything, and the call will be made to save.
Not bad, not bad. The bounce back after losing 1 round. And again, the 1 round they lost, you saw the fashion. It was almost the 1v4 from TJ. So the finances not in a solid state at all for SemperFi. Tactical from Rooster. Just to make sure they aren't getting caught off guard here. SemperFi with the round loss bonus. We'll be able to buy up again with the 2 weapons saved. 4 rounds the difference. But again, Rooster coming alive here in the first half of Nuke.
Yeah, it's good to see. I mean, I felt like they might just roll over and die after Overpass, frankly, but this has been a much more competitive-looking Rooster. And hopefully it can continue throughout the rest of this half and map so that we can get a third map between these 2 teams. It is fairly typical of Rooster and SemperFi to be going to at least 3 maps. Oh, ASAP. Oh, very nearly getting caught out. That grenade, had it been timed half a second later, he was probably a dead man, but he's waited patiently. 2 grenades now tossed out is enough for ASAP to feel confident making his way across as the smoke fades. He's made it down into secret.
Yeah. Had to go audible though, and I believe that was heard, although we aren't seeing a rotate from any of these CT individuals, so they're all eyes on a ramp pump coming through later. Shady. Group up with Val here to make sure that ramp is reinforced. SemperFi, for the most part, just turtling up, expecting it to be some form of sight hit. In the meanwhile, you can see that ASAP's going loud towards the lower side. That timing of the smoke at ramp is actually so annoying for Rooster. You can see that will reroute their focus. Bomb going to be spotted in the meanwhile with that pick over towards CT vent. And now they might just refocus back towards the A site. Keen on the top of Heart will not be able to stop the drop down towards lower. And now there's no CTs here to stop a plant.
Yeah, Keen could have come up huge if he found the double there, but not quite able to do so. Valiant still fighting. They're still trying to take this fight, SemperFi. Valiant is winning all of his duels, and Savage as well. That round has just fallen by the wayside for Rooster. They're asleep at the wheel. Too many aim duels won by Valiants. And quick and easy round in the end for SemperFi. It's a 2-5 scoreline. Money starting to recover on the CT side. That is not what Rooster would have liked.
Yeah, he just kind of noodled them.
Yeah, look at this. Bang, bang.
Shots.
I think I saw Donk do that last night to FlyQuest. Oh, actually, that was this morning. Technically.
Yeah, well, your morning, definitely yesterday for me.
It was 1 a.m. here.
Look, it's an unfortunate draw sometimes. But hey, these 2 teams would love to be getting done like that on the international stage by Donk, I'm sure. They're both fiending for it, and that's why they're playing here, you know, to be the best of the best in OS for now, to show what they're capable of on the world stage again at some point.
It's only one small step on a much larger journey for these 2 teams to try to qualify for the major, right? You talk about being the best of the best in Oz, you need to do that, and then you need to be able to take the opportunity and go and play in some of the Asia-based tournaments and be one of the best in Asia as well, which is easier said than done, certainly.
Faster approach towards the A site. Pop flash out the door. Shady not spotted on default. And the cover from heaven is enough to draw attention away and allow Shady to continue activating. 3v1 angle. Chelleos with at least the bomb on his back. And 40 seconds. If you can get this pick onto Savage, might be able to slide his way through the vent. Although it could just boil down to the timing. Barrel of the AK spotted as he swapped to it. And that will be his downfall.
Yeah. Unfortunate because he actually got outdoor, and if he would have kept going up to Tetris, he might have been able to get the kill on the Savage. A little bit of a cheeky spot, but not working out this time. Good hold again from SemperFi. Their CT side now starting to recover. Somewhat reminiscent of that first map. SemperFi were sort of dominating, and then Rooster were pulling it back at the back stages of the half. Now you're getting the same, but in reverse. Rooster were looking good, but they gave up that one critical round, and now all of a sudden it's SemperFi, who have got a strong enough economy, are starting to look a little bit more comfortable. TJP dodging all the bullets. I don't know how he's still alive. Nade's going to go into his position and finally do a bit of damage. But he's somehow got out of there. Whoa, not quite. Bomb on his back will be a problem, obviously, for Rooster, as that's now dropped into Squeaky, and, well, SemperFi wrapping it up pretty comfortably in the end. 4 on 5 as SemperFi start to mount this comeback.
Yeah, they're doing some good work. Financially in a better position to equalize here. Try to make it a 5-5 affair, and then it's anyone's majority at the half. Util over towards door, but it's a fast approach towards ramp, and Valiance has been pretty capable in these positions. Oh, full committing to the spray, having a swap to the secondary, but does have a 5-7 at the ready, and we know that that thing is not just all bark, it's got a bit of bite behind it. Ali snapping a head off as well, and that's going to be 5 apiece. Well played by SemperFi. Valiant in particular, expecting and demolishing that ramp pump.
Yeah, this is starting to slip away from Rooster again a little bit. I mean, 5 on T side, I guess, is not the worst thing in the world, but considering they were up 5-1, they would have been wanting to get a little bit more out of this half. Valiance is looking really crisp on this map. 11-3. And SemperFi are going to be hunting for 7. There's no doubt about that. We do have the hero AK out here for Terry. Rooster's still going to try and make some inroads. They've set up a huge wall of smokes on outers. Bit of a hole in there, though.
Yeah, Molly.
So they're not going to be too happy about that, as Alistair will pick up a kill on the cross, and Shady alongside Keen combining for the kill onto TJP. Awkward for Rooster as their take was kind of brought down by one Molotov, as you say. They will still try to fight their way into this round. Bomb plant attempt be denied by Valiance.
All 4 of SemperFi are down on the B side.
Ooh, Savage deleted by Slimy.
Ready to step. Ooh, that might be their undoing. And Valiant's making a world of noise there on the site. Ali slow rotate back towards lobby, thinking maybe they'll crawl their way back up vent. But the bomb's still down in Val's possession, who's going to use that cover of the smoke. Has Terry seen him? He has now. And Slimy wants to try to trade him out. 3, 2, 1. Hit him with the big swing. Ooh. And they know that he's lurking around somewhere. He's hunting. He's hungry. He just wants to keep on fighting, and the flash will enable him to do so. Valiance off to the races. Look at this, 14-3. Having his best game in a hot minute.
Yeah, I like that from Valiant. You know, he knows he's in good form. He's definitely feeling it at the moment. So he's just going to say, look, I'll take matters into my own hands here. I'm back myself. And Ali obliges with a nice flash as well. Another round win for SemperFi. And a 7th brewing here for them on CT, which would feel like it is kind of where they need to get, considering the bias of the map. But see how solid they are on T as well. It is their map choice. They'll be expected to do well there too. So a bit of a forward hold from SemperFi on outer this time around. Ali spotting one out. Trying to get some tags through the box. Has been able to collect a little bit of damage there onto ASAP. Shady, though, will perhaps end up having to be the difference maker here as the util gets tossed over the top of him. Chell going to look to try and maybe clear it out. Oh! Shady could have just waited patiently there and maybe looked for a little bit more, but he still gets himself 2. Alistair chiming in the meanwhile. It's all a little bit messy for Rooster in this round. Chell going to be remembering next time to maybe check his corners. Grenade will finish off TJP, and Shady just goes for more. 7-5. SemperFi will close out the first half with a pretty decent scoreline. Well, back into the second half here, SemperFi do manage to somewhat recover that first half. They end up with a 7-5 lead. It's not going to be an easy map to close out, considering now that Rooster are moving onto that CT side. A CT pistol here would be a big start. Alistair will prevent TJP from taking any more part in this round, and now it's Savage's turn to try to take the fight to Slimy. He hasn't really done enough damage there, though the kill will be finished off by Keen. And Joe will be forced away at heaven. Here's Terry up and down the ladder, trying to help out. They're going to try and go for a quick retake before the bomb plant's even gone down. That may be surprising SemperFi a little bit. And now ASAP coming up with the goods. 2 kills from him. It is Arusa that will take the CT pistol and keep this map competitive.
That was nasty. I think it was much needed as well, just to get that confidence back in Rooster.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to remember they've won both pistols now, so long term can be the difference maker. But SemperFi really got a taste of success towards the end of that first half. So we'll see if that's going to get them to win this. They've gone for the Force again. Didn't work in the first half, but at least they've already won that first map, so you can afford to be a bit more risk-takey in your approach. If war coming out. ASAP doesn't have a nade to crack it, so Shady's just gone loud and straight towards that lower site with no rotation from Rooster just yet.
Very quiet indeed, as things slow down. Terry doing a pretty good job here from ramp. Be a flash in to try to disrupt him, but he's also got the assistance of ASAP, and Alistair is pretty donezo. Gets himself a headshot in there, but fantastic opening couple of rounds here in the second half for Rooster. Definitely going to stabilize their position on the map.
For sure. Lovely little crossfire. And Shady with all that map control towards the lower site. Unable to do anything with it. Rooster. Mild reinvestment. And SemperFi. Just what, 1-2 deagles in the mix. Smoking a banger. Or 3 deagles even. Oh, and Ali's got the animation. You know what that means.
Just got to hit it.
Got to hit it. Oh. No, back to back. And looks like it's just going to be a slower one. Letting Rooster bleed out that utility. Try to waste a little bit of their cashola. And Keen must have seen that on the jiggle. And Shell, MP9, not as effective as it was a few patches ago. Running the gunning, and with that flash is able to find one, spot the second, but not able to snap onto the third. Valiant close to trade, and with the deagle in hand. And the game that he's having, Rooster may just be quivering in their boots.
Yeah, maybe. Now he's got an MP9. Val to be the one to maybe take that second contact. Actually goes down first as Terry will finish him off, and Ali falling to ASAP. The ramp hold again, a solid one for Rooster, will salvage the round. 8-7 lead now for Rooster, and if we're going by the numbers, this is now their map to lose. It's a CT-sided map. They're up 8-7. Money's looking good. We should be seeing a map 3 if everything goes to plan. Doesn't always go to plan, of course.
No, for sure. We'll see if it keeps on going to plan in this first gun round. Important for Rooster to win if they want to stay in that pole position. Shell, oh, off that tag, Savage. He's heard it. We'll be expecting the aggression, but Terry gets the better of him. And with the numbers game strong, Chell posted on the line, able to get a freebie onto Ali, unanswered for, and the round gets that much harder for SemperFi.
Yeah, it certainly does. It's half getting much harder as well. It's not just the rounds that we have to worry about at this point. You know, you can afford to lose a couple of rounds at the start of the half on the T side. It's not the end of the world. But if you end up losing a lot of rounds and you end up losing them pretty comfortably as well, that's where the CT money really becomes not a concern anymore. And so coming back at the latter stages of this half, you know, making a bit of a resurgence in the back stages is going to be less equitable for SemperFi now that they have given this boost to Rooster at the start of the CT side. Obviously, this round not over just yet. But it's going to be a tough one to pull back with the rotate that's come in from those Rooster players. TJP goes down, but ASAP there to get Keen, and Terry's also spotted out Shady. Will lose his life for that exchange. Still, numbers are good enough for Rooster to trade down. There will be a bomb plan allowed over to Valiance if he wants it. Looks for a fight first, which will probably be his undoing in the end, as Chell on the walkout will sacrifice ASAP for the round, but 9-7 for Rooster. They keep on keeping on.
Yeah, Valiance, unfortunately, can't always be looking in the right spot. Is it a faster one? SemperFi. Keen respecting that insent towards ramp side, but there are three individuals towards this position. Valiance, love a little pop flash. The layering, very good with these flashes. Chell, the incend coming through a little late, but he realizes the danger that could be around the corner. Terry going to try to hold on to the lower site. Savage opens, and so does Val. So where do they go with the C4? The package still there towards Hell Alley, thinking about trying to find a opening here at A, and all of these three members towards the upper side may just have found a timing, although it looks like I think they're just waiting to fully group up as four.
Yeah, Slimy's keeping an eye on it, but it's really hard for him to watch all of these angles solo. Looks like he's found his timing nicely. He does spot Keen out, and you can intuit from that there might be a couple of other SemperFi members up there on Heaven. Still, site control taken. Bomb plant going to go down. SemperFi still looking okay in this round. Valiant stays up at Heaven. He's got the powerful weapon, the M4. So he'll have to be the one to clutch this round out if push comes to shove. It's the two players down on the site with the Tech 9s that want to open the account and make it easier for him. Slimy pushing his way forward alongside ASAP, trying to clear out the angles. There's one for Alistair, and Valiance gets another. The trade comes through. Well done from SemperFi. They pull off a cheeky round, and we're right back into this conversation. It's such a back and forth here on Nuke.
Getting it done on the low bite. Something out of nightmares there for Rooster, but it does come down just to that 1v1. And Rooster will be warranted one more buy here. So we'll see what they can do with it. Only TJ down to the Famis, and Ali boosted. Oh, won't be able to find anything across the top of the smoke, but Chell is just there at red with an AWP of his own. In the meanwhile, it's Terry, Sap, and Chell all to strike effectively. Now Savage realizes he's probably got to try to make a play, try to catch a timing. But unfortunately, he's timed it straight into the crosshair of TJP, AK on the upgrade, and Valiance. At least, look, he's the big fragger, and if there's anyone right now that you'd give a shot for SemperFi, it's this man on your screen. Well, not Terry, but Valiance. 1v4 remaining. Ace clutch. The angle. And the smoke break works better for Valiance than it does for Rooster. High-low from Heaven, and Slimy couldn't quite see it.
This guy's on.
Valiance is doing it, George. He's given it a good argument.
He is a 1v4, definitely a possible angle right here. TJP had a crack at it in the T half for Rooster. Now it's Valiance's turn, and he's kind of hitting everything at the moment. You can see Slimy and Terry are a bit terrified. Where does Valiance end up going? If he goes heaven, he might just walk into the setup, though.
Yeah, Terry's watching this.
Seems to be where he's going to end up. Now, can he get up the ladder is the first question. Yes. Oh, he is very lucky he's hit his shots there, Terry, because there was a pretty quick readjustment from Valiance. Made the wrong call in the end. If he would have gone B, who knows what happens, but at least takes another couple of guns out of the hands of Rooster and kind of keeps them reinvesting.
Yeah, that was a spooky one. It is almost spooky season at Valiance. Giving him a taste a little earlier. Rooster, though, first into the double digits, and with that win, the finances are still okay. I'd say good, but they're not really good. Chelleos, MP9, aggression at outside again, is going to be able to find that first man advantage. Shady on the front side of those smokes, but Terry, eyes on the prize, knowing someone was still lurking around on the outside. And now, again, another two-man advantage. Rooster, it should be locked in.
Mm-hmm.
But SemperFi keep us guessing.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, Savage just got down B, and it doesn't seem like Rooster are aware of that somehow. He must have event dropped. Okay, so he's going to find TJP. He can get two here. Oh, no, he's gone for TJP. What?
He thinks he got saw. He thinks he got seen by Slimy.
You think he got seen by Slimy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's going to matter too much in the round anyway, because that fight on outer kind of needed to go their way as well. And I guess a UMP doesn't exactly have the stopping power that he'd want.
Yeah.
So there was a chance in there for SemperFi, but not going to turn it. I mean, this fight as well, I thought Shady was good for one there. That felt like the timing was pretty good.
It was an okay approach, but things just don't go right. Slimy, heads up play. We deal with Savage on the re-aggression. It could have gone the other way, but alas it hasn't. And Rooster now find themselves with a 3-round lead. Faster approach towards Squeaky. Keen doesn't want to go through it. Not initially. Nades causing a little bit of pain. And no one down the vent just yet. Although King crosses successfully. And Ali and Shady not too far behind. But the bomb's still isolated at outside. And with that smoke getting broken at the right moment, that's the package on the ground. And ASAP with that incendiary on secret. Unfortunately, hasn't managed to hold on to control of the objective. Terry, in the meanwhile, spotting the bomb, crossing over towards Australis. And Ali, the only man here to try and hold.
He's been able to cross up to Megaton.
Oh.
He's got an into Megaton.
What?
No. Oh. He wasn't close enough to get the one-shot headshot onto Terry. He lived on 1 HP.
Oh, Ali is incredibly unlucky there.
Again, probably doesn't make a difference, though, for SemperFi. If Terry goes down there or not, I think Alistair's dead. So 12-8, Rooster looking much more switched on here on Nuke. And, yeah, we're going to be finding ourselves on Inferno.
Which will be a decent affair. Oh, the patience. So close to being rewarded. But everyone else falling in the meanwhile while Ali was trying to make that play. Last opportunity for SemperFi to crawl into a comeback here. On this T-side of Nuke. Diags thrown very early on, and Terry catching Keen over towards that silo. So there will be no player from above to create that extra pressure at outside, but it is all four of these SemperFi members just secretly crossing towards the halls. Rooster, early rotation into this two-man setup. See if SemperFi are ready.
Well, Rooster definitely looking ready. This is the kind of shot that you wouldn't expect Chell to be missing. Has fallen off of that line now, though, and that's going to have to be ASAP doing the job. He's going to be good for one. awkward timing for Chell to throw that smoke. If he just stayed scoped in, he's probably going to be good for at least one. But it has allowed SemperFi into the B site. They are going to be able to put a bomb plant down on the floor. Round not done just yet. Rooster are going to go for this. They've got plenty of cash. So Shady needs to hit the shot, and he does. That's through the wall onto Terry. TJP, with a 1-for-1 for himself, will leave the job onto the shoulders of Slimy, who's been spotted out, and an easy finish there for Alistair. So 12-9. SemperFi 3 away from making it to the OT. It feels like quite a stretch still, but not impossible, no doubt.
Yeah, job certainly not finished by either team just yet. Setup in the halls looked good, but Sap, unfortunate to only find one after swinging off the contact. And you already highlighted it, but yeah, Chell unfortunately just pulling that smoke out at the worst possible moment. Let's see what changes. And if that's going to be enough to swing the tide of the game, Chell wants to keep on brawling towards outside. HE could be coming this direction towards red, but doesn't seem to be. It's gone towards top main instead. Found Keen and has at least brought it back to this 4v4. Three towards outside still for SemperFi. And Savage lurking on that top of T-roof. Similar position to what we saw Slimy in before. And Rooster shifting that utility back towards the A site. Everything slowing down and marinating here at the mid-round.
Very much slowing it down, aren't they? It's not going to be a lot of time left here for SemperFi to make something happen, so if you're looking at this and thinking this has to now just be an A hit. Terry taking lobby control, or trying to, will lose his life to Savage, but as far as Terry is concerned, that's actually just one lurker up in lobby. Now Ali deleted by Chell. It's a little bit mismanaged here from SemperFi. They still need their entries, and Shady is miles away. 15 seconds left on the clock. He is going to have to do something pretty quick. It's not going to happen. SemperFi let that one slip, and they let map 2 slip as well. So we are going to be going in the end to Inferno, 13-9 as Rooster continue to survive in this series against SemperFi. It took a bit of work, Mac, certainly, but
yeah,
solid enough result there on Nuke. Last 3 months. I'm going to sort by last 3 months. Inferno is still T-sided. 51.1%. Dust to 50.4. Those are the only 2 T-sided maps in the pool at this stage.
Let's check last month. That's been since that change.
Yeah, true.
Inferno's
just us two.
Barely CT side. Yeah, D2.
But look, I mean, the point stands that it's kind of like one of those maps where, again, you know, there's not a huge inherent bias one way or the other here, so maybe not the biggest of concerns with regard to that knife round and which side you get to start on. It is Rooster that are going to start on the T side here. ASAP just tucking himself into the corner in Banana here and taking a bit of space as that flash comes through, but not a whole lot of toing and froing just yet.
I hope there's not a lot of throwing going on, to be honest. But hey, we'll see. There is a lot of nades in this round. 2 full sets essentially for Rooster. 2 smokes, or 3 smokes even. 1 Schmolotov and a couple of bangers. We'll see if it's going to be the A site under fire. Oh, there is many numbers here towards the top of Banana, and ASAP not quite ready for that one, but the A site now under fire, flash forward. Only Keen here to try to hold. In the meanwhile, Slimy drawing attention still back towards Banana and stopping that push initially, but it's the full wrap around long side, which forces them into a crossfire. Shady from behind, able to find 2, but the bomb has made its way to site. So with that molly, there is space to get this C4 down. And Slimy ready for the isolated push. Savage playing like a madman. Ooh. And Chell, lovely little jiggle to take down Shady eventually. Dominates long control, and it's all up to Ali, who does have a kit, as well as Kevlar, but it don't matter. Chelios taking 3 huge kills there in the post plant.
Yeah, beautiful pistol from Chell. Needed to be the one to activate there. Slimy did not have the HP to really be taking a heads-up fight. This was nice from Shady. I felt like he got away with a little bit too much, actually, by getting that second. But Chell just goes and does one better. So pistol round on the board for Rooster. They'll be feeling pretty G'd up. They'll be feeling pretty good. They've just won the last map. It was a close map, but it was a decent win. And they get the pistol on map 3, and they can look to start to roll their way into this one, and they'll be thinking to themselves, you know, is today the day? Is today the day that we're finally able to get ourselves a win against SemperFi? Well, TJP down at 1 HP is looking a little bit worse for wear, and there's still 2 grenades in the back pocket here for SemperFi. So if Rooster end up deciding to go to B, they're going to be in real trouble.
Thinking about it, but Chelios getting big information as the CTs, they're going to get mopped up. 70 bullets against just a couple of USPs. I know which I'm backing. And Rooster clean, barely in that second round, I think. TJ was down to 1 HP in the meanwhile. Sap was low as well.
Yep.
No kills confirmed. And SemperFi, I think they learned from their past mistakes. They forced in those second rounds time after time, but this time went for the stack approach, which is weird because Inferno of all 3 maps would be the one I'd be expecting CTs to force in that second round.
It's a good thing the Galils were there in Banana as well, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There's extra couple of bullets that are available in the Galil. Otherwise, that might have been a very dead shell, but either way, it's going to be a little flash into sandbags, and Keen is burning alive. That'll be an easy kill for TJP with the MAC-10. Keen was super dead there. There was nothing that he could do. Now it's going to prompt out a bit of CTU to flash through that smoke from Shady. Savage will get his incent down. Timing's not too bad. It is going to split Rooster up. 2 players go forward, though. One straight into the smoke. That's the end of him. Chell down. MP9 spray. A little bit lacking there from Savage, but back to the 3-on-3, and now the job is on the shoulders of Alistair. He has heard some footsteps in middle. He'll be peeking around the corner here, trying to see whether or not there's going to be players pushing in his direction. Terry takes him out. Valiance has worked his way back over to A, but he's, again, tasked with a 3v1. Should be getting traded down here, and will be by Slimy. So it will still be favorable for Rooster in the first gun round of Inferno.
No kit. But maybe one retrievable somewhere on the site. Smoke, a HE. Got an off angle from Terry. Will allow Slimy a moment to activate here from the top of cold. Shady will be spotted in just a moment. Or will he? Heard for sure. And it's the escape away. But a backside plant means no one will be surviving here.
Except Shady.
Oh, yeah, untouched. Thought someone might have tagged him up in the meanwhile. So that's good for SemperFi's economy and good for the long run to try and crack Roosters.
Well, end of the day, you'll still be happy with the round win as Rooster.
For sure.
As long as they can keep that streak going, you know, keep the momentum here. The difficulty is going to be when SemperFi starts to make some inroads. Can Rooster hold on to things? Can they recover back? But at the moment, Rooster not putting a foot wrong so far. Chell's going to have a little bit of a look with the AWP in through middle. No cross coming from SemperFi initially, and as he said, their buys definitely lacking a little bit. 4 MP9s, just the 1 M4. And even the util coverage is a bit spotty here for SemperFi. No incense, at least none left.
Good placement on the HE. Rooster thinking about pumping through mid. Good timing on the flash, and Terry's crosshair trained to the perfect position for the first kill, but not the second. And there's still going to be 2 members of SemperFi. We're thinking about reaggressing on short. Shady. Eyes on long. The flash is there. But in the meanwhile, I think they've made a bit of a read. Slimy taking down Shady. And Val, being the last member alive, may be able to find the package, which he will towards Freezer, but Slimy close in, hauls to trade. That'll be a 4th for Rooster with 3 alive at the end. We'll keep the economy kicking along. And SemperFi, they've got enough to buy up again.
Yeah, but a 4-0 handicap given to Rooster is already starting to put them in a solid position to start thinking about winning this series. Obviously early days. AWP in the hands of Alistair. See if he can find a way to activate. He's going to go over toward the A site. Maybe have a little bit of a look down middle. There's a smoke in mid from SemperFi, as well as a molly at brackets that's going to stop a whole lot of an exchange happening in middle. There is a push up here in Banana, and TJP was not spotted there by Keen. He was just ducked down by Car and says, thank you very much, Freebie. Nice quick play from Rooster. Up Banana. Take that space, and Keen having a real rough time holding on to Sandbag so far.
Terry. He's been good on these openings at mid. Smoke on long. Shady. Ready to play off of that contact from Ali. But he gets it done himself with the stick. Slimy starting to progress through the halls, but there's eyes on that position as well. Savage in the meanwhile going to be the one to fall at B, and that's B side open for the taking. The bomb and both remaining members from Rooster towards AR over towards the halls, and there goes the package. There goes the opportunity. Oh, and it was a 3v2. TJ all the way through B, all the way back towards mid side.
Yeah.
Still winnable, but the clock's against him.
It is. He doesn't have a lot of time to work with here. Maybe he can pick up Ali, or maybe not. SemperFi will breathe a sigh of relief as they're able to pick that round up. That was certainly not one that should have been going their way, but a little bit of a mishap from Rooster. You get an opening like this one and you think, oh, that's just the round done and dusted. 2 players going down for free. At this point, you remember what I was talking about at the very start of this matchup, you know, thinking about Rooster being a good enough team to contest SemperFi, but just making some kind of like silly errors here and there that tend to throw away maps or rounds that end up, you know, contributing to the recovery from their opponent. And that might be one of those rounds where you look at that and go, well, that's a really soft loss, you know, like, okay, it's not the end of the world, but in an ideal world, you don't lose that round. You're up 5-0, and it's still looking pretty tough for SemperFi, but immediately that round goes by the wayside, and Rooster are on the back foot again. They have to work hard to try to win this round. No trade coming through. Valiant's alive at Porch. Bombs dropped on short. 2 players here for Rooster, and they're trying to find a recovery in this round, but that inset is really going to cause problems. Great shot from Slimy. Keeps himself alive and going to continue to take that fight to Keen. In the meanwhile, Chell just sort of floating around in the apartments, not having any impact at all just yet, and he is being flanked by Ali, which he is not going to expect at all. So 2 now for SemperFi, and it's all off the back of a mishap from Rooster.
Into the 7th. See if Rooster can get the job done on a low bite. Got to make the most of it over towards Banana for TJ, but he's down to 11, catching 2 HEs over towards Broom. Awkward fight at mid for a pistol to have to take. Valiant's going into Boiler. Will get his head ripped off by the Tech 9. And then 4 will be potentially tossed across to someone with a bit of extra health to play with. Only Savage solo on the B site. And Rooster did manage to take him down before, so we'll see if they go with a stronger approach in the numbers this time.
I mean, with only one player here to defend, if Savage gets this wrong, if he, for some reason, just gets picked off, this could still be a Rooster round win. The difficulty is he's got a lot of delaying util still in that back pocket. Inson's not really going to be able to spread too far, so TJ can get up in front of it, but Smoke's going to go down. They're just going to have to go through it. Rooster going to have to try and make something happen here, find the trade, and that's pretty difficult. So, enough job done by Savage. Bomb plant denied so far. Shady through quickly alongside Keen. We'll get the round on the board for SemperFi, and they're really starting to ramp up now. 3 in a row on this CT side. Looking good, looking comfortable. Long time ago that Rooster was on a bit of a streak. That came to a rather untimely end, and now the going gets tough as we start to get into the grindier parts of the half.
Ooh, Sap. Finding that opening towards the B site yet again. Oh, and that smoke allows Savage the lineup, who is dominating Banana. 3 huge picks, enough to buy the time for Ali to rotate across. And in a round where Rooster finally found the opening, it gets turned on its head, seemingly out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's just not it, is it? That is really not it. Second time now that Rooster have found a pretty substantial opening in a round, and it has slipped away from them. Round's obviously not yet over. Terry's got himself a smoke, Slimy as well. So they could just smoke CT and Coffins and try and work their way into B here. It'll come down to whether or not Ali hits a shot. That's exactly what they're going to try and do. Ali is smoked off. He has a nade in hand. Not going to use it to break open the smoke. Maybe just to try and get a bit of damage on that bomb plant. Double nade onto the bomb plant. Really well played actually by SemperFi. And now it's Slimy solo in a 1v3. He's going to be delayed a little bit by that flash, but the shot's hitting. Alice is missing. Now Slimy had a chance, but it will be a 4th over onto SemperFi. And Rooster wringing their hands together as they find themselves in pretty dire straits now on this T side. Is that a CT smoke or a T smoke? It had to be a CT smoke, right?
I believe so.
Banana. So, you know.
Oh wait, the one at the top of
the half wall?
Banana? Nah, that was
the half wall.
Pretty sure.
Is it a T smoke?
Yeah.
I was going to say, because like, it seemed like Savage had a pretty good idea that there was going to be a little bit of a gap in that smoke on the left, and exploited it nicely. So just reading it really well. 1 for 1 as the quick play toward top Nana continues into the B site. Rooster keeping that momentum going. They don't know that there's 3 players here, so they've gotten rid of Keen, but they still need to clear out Shady. Slimy's going to get them that information. Ali through the smoke hits a shot onto Terry, and Shady doing a great job of holding on from Nubox. Leaves TJP alone. If he had the bomb, he could go away and get a plant, but the bomb is dropped on B. Now he's going to have to win that 1v3. Starts well. Doable with the Tech 9, but a tough crossfire to break. Ali would need to miss a shot with that AWP, you'd think, and even then, probably the rifler gets it done. Not going to happen. 5 in a row now for SemperFi.
Well played from the back of sight there. Shady with the defensive smoke, able just to dance around and deal with the pressure coming at him quickly from Rooster. SemperFi have managed to earn their way back into the lead. Solid showing so far on the CT side. And the money in a good position to potentially buy up for one more round if things do go wrong. Rooster back onto a gun round here. TJ once more is just going to be dumpstered by, I don't know if that was utility or if that was just a couple of early shots through the smoke. Rooster putting high pressure towards bracket control. Ali wanted to crack the smoke and keep fighting, spotting an elbow, but unable to connect.
Savage coming across. Shady. Oh, just finding again another nice couple of fights. Falling apart for Rooster at the moment. Valiant's his position well and truly known. Smoke fades, he'll back up. It's a full rotation from SemperFi over towards A, and that's exactly where they need to be. Both the Rooster members committing to this one. Ali with a nice flick on a Chell. Recontests onto Slimy and gets it done. 6-4. SemperFi not putting a foot wrong on this CT side, and I just feel so vindicated by what I was saying at the start of this series, that like one little slip up from Rooster has really allowed SemperFi all the way back into this half. This could have been a 5-0 lead, and who knows where we go from there, but losing that round in the fashion which they did, it seems to have just broken Rooster a little bit and gotten all that momentum back in the favor of SemperFi, and now Rooster are at best looking for 6 rounds in this half.
SemperFi happy just to go for the 2-3 split yet again. Rooster playing all across the map round after round. DJ putting Terry on the line just to clear the corner. And there's not a lot of util. So we'll see Rooster potentially have to go in. These smokes are thrown, or maybe they go in before it, try to bait out that util and just throw them on the run. And right now is a very good time for them to go. No one playing Arch, no one going for those rotations, but Ali's starting to call that one in. The lineup was there, but the Tech-9 gets the shot off that little faster. Savage at second oranges will only be able to find one, and that's just not going to be good enough in the 4v3.
Keen's positioning and timing almost was. Slimy, though, will shut that down before it really gets too out of hand. 25 seconds to get the bomb plant. It's going to be safe enough for Terry. Yeah, well, actually, I've spoken too soon. He's deleted there by Shady in the end, but he did get the plant down, and that's what it's important. Rooster desperately need this round. TJP will give it to them. 6-5. Rooster continue to just keep this close. They can find the last round of the half here and make it 6 on T side. That's not a bad shout at all.
See if they can make it happen to keep it tight at the half. Gel. T-side AWPing on Inferno. Not generally known for its efficacy, but it can still have its moments. Ali and Keen, high-low setup. Fresh on that banana smoke, nice and early. Rooster can just stop the play retake after showing some pressure towards that A site. Well, you're not hitting the intended location. Enough utility invested just to draw this attention away, but Ali, the aggressive repeak, is going to be able to take TJ out of the mix. Spotting the second man there, but now with full banana control still in their hands, allowing Keen to push forward. They're going to know it's this A-pop. And Rooster are taking their sweet time making it up short.
Yeah, you think this is probably not going to go very well for Rooster, but they don't have too many other options. No map control available to them. They'll flash their way into the site, and ASAP with the one. Slimy another, so it is actually doable. in this 2-on-2. The problem is going to be the fast flank coming through. SemperFi so quick on that rotate. They've been spotted out by Slimy, or rather by Terry. Slimy will lose his life to Keen, who wants to go for more and gets it done. It's just a little bit too quick there from SemperFi. So Rooster will end up giving up that final round of the half. It's a 7-5 scoreline as we take a break before half number 2.
Damn, guys, we almost had this.
Thank God it's over.
Bored of endless matchmaking? Take your first step towards ECL, experiencing real strategies against teams of your skill. Learn more at fce.gg/ECL.
Welcome back on into the second half. It's going to be an all-important pistol here. SemperFi have actually been struggling a little bit on the pistols, and, well, maybe not this time around. Shady took a little while to calibrate, but that has given the opportunity to Rooster to clean things up. Few too many whiffed shots with those Glocks, and it's Rooster that are on top 1v3. Valiant's also a whiff. ASAP lives on 2 HP, and that is, I think, all 4 pistols in the last 2 maps for Rooster, which is going to be a big talking point, assuming they can go on to win this series, but you couldn't ask for a better start to the second half.
Just an all-in bloody brawl, wasn't it? Fighting fire with fire there. And Rooster come out a little more burned. Or SemperFi, rather. Rooster going triple towards B early. Dropping the util off. And Terry sending it back towards a stronger A-site setup. SemperFi, again, not forcing into that second round. Just going for the slow contact with 5 members all through long side. Just waiting out that smoke in case there was a regression on short. As this timing. Oh, Chell spots him. Oh, and there's many pistols looking towards his position. Head taken off. Famis retrieved. Oh, and ASAP is isolated over towards CT. Able to fight, to live. HE can buy a little bit of space here, but do they expect Misery 777 to be here on the mop-up crew? Awkward now, as he has allowed that cross towards the truck, but Ali caught out in the open. And it is TJ to save the day.
That was a bit touch and go for a moment there for Rooster.
Yeah.
All right, they've got it done. Obviously, now the gun's going to come into the hands for SemperFi, so the approach is going to be a little bit different. But that didn't necessarily fill me with a huge amount of confidence that Rooster are looking super locked in on this CT side. We'll see how things shape up, though, in this gun round. Obviously, quite a bit of util to go around. The only player really missing out on that is Chell, and that's by choice. He has 1,500 in the bank, but he's opted to save that for the next round or later on in the half if push comes to shove. And there's a nice opener for Rooster as TJP will be able to catch Savage, the only player that was really trying to accelerate up Banana. Nice pressure here, though, onto Chell. Forcing him away, and how he's been smoked off, both at Arch and Library, which is going to leave Slimy alone. He's really trying to bide his time and hope that some assistance is going to come across. He's been spotted through the gap, and that'll be the opener that Valiance needs. And yeah, unfortunately for Rooster, just a solo hold essentially on A is not going to be enough.
But like, you know, Terry was there trying to drop that util off, but the faster approach from SemperFi, taking full advantage of that one. Lovely attention drawn towards that long wrap, allowing Val just to pop out of the smoke and get that entry that was necessary. But Rooster, it's classic on Inferno. You lose that pick, you just concede the round and realize that your economy on the CT side is incredibly important to take control of. Everyone high enough health that they should all live at the back of pit here. And that'll be SemperFi taking the lead 8-7. 8 alive at the end. Gentleman's agreement. Everyone happy just to make their own economy look pretty damn good. Let's see what adjustments are made for Rooster this round, just to make sure history doesn't repeat itself. They don't lose another round in the same fashion. Rooster going 3-2 setup yet again. Terry going to be the man towards A this time, and TJ on the off angle was hoping he'd be able to find some space in the flames. But alas, it is SemperFi to take the pick, fall back, and now look to put some pressure back at mid.
Yeah, pressure's on Rooster now. SemperFi win this round, their money's going to be broken. These A defenders with a bit of a job to do. Terry caught out in transition, dumping util ASAP, not able to get across just yet. Might have to brave a push through this arch smoke, and if he gets his timing wrong, he will be dead, which he gets a 1-for-1. That is still not really going to relieve that pressure on Slimy at all. And Chell also wondering what's happening. Slimy spots the bomb. That is going to inform the rotate a little bit, but Slimy needs to do a lot of work here. Gets that smoke down just in time to play around, but Ali still catches him. And this one is looking pretty doomed for Rooster. Chell will be best off just saving the orb.
And it feels to be the case that he will be allowed to do so. No one really going for the hunt just yet. That all struggling to get activated here in the second half. Feels like Chel's been more in the position just to kind of support, members just constantly getting caught out for Rooster, which is worrying because we're getting right to the pointy end of this series. SemperFi just need only 4 rounds to take the whole damn thing. Mild investment around the saved AVP. TJ gifted an M4, and we'll start the round in a similar fashion. Only Chell solo towards the A site, that dig side, and he's found that contact. There it is. Success this time. And over on the other side, M4 has been seen.
Oh, Chell's playing a dangerous game right here, and he wins it. Bit of back and forth there with Alistair. So Rooster with this sort of half buy that they've managed to put together. Maybe doing what they need to do to stay in this contest. SemperFi at this point relying on Savage and Keen to try to conjure up something. Which is going to be easier said than done because there is a stack over on the A side. ASAP needs to just survive at this point. Leave the rest of the job over to Terry and Slimy. That's a nice smoke. It's going to keep Keen at bay for the next 20 seconds. Double swing comes through, but poorly timed by Terry and Slimy. And so Savage gets away with 2 kills. And all of a sudden, the round starts to shift back in the direction of SemperFi as ASAP's got no idea what's happening on A. And this smoke will be fading shortly, which is going to present Keen an opportunity. And just like that, SemperFi are probably going to be going to 10.
Fortunately, this was just that low investment, which looked like it should definitely have been a Rooster round with how it started. And in the 1v2, this weapon save would go a huge way into the next. But TJ is going to give it a red hot crack. Pushing through the moto smoke, crouching, crabbing, hoping for retiming, but doesn't clear sight. Too worried about above him. And looks away at just the worst possible time. Double digits on the board for SemperFi. 3 rounds the difference, and not a lot of time now for Rooster to try and fight their way back into this game.
Yeah, I think this one is looking a little bit too far gone for Rooster, but maybe we give them one more gun round before we really start to talk to doom and gloom. They can pull this one off, then maybe there's still something in it. It'll be a big nade stack into Banana from both teams. Deep smoke, deep molly from Rooster. It hasn't really stopped SemperFi. They have that sort of progression smoke halfway up that they're happy to use as cover. And so they've managed to make their way out into Banana, and then they'll have to start figuring out a way to clear out sandbags.
Util getting traded over towards apartments. SemperFi just feigning as much presence here as possible as the half-wall smoke fades. And now they put their best foot forward over towards Banana. That timing looks like Savage could have found one, but Slimy up on quad, able to find the first pick of the round. Terry cheating across and bringing in extra smoke towards the B site. Site set up on oranges and new box. And the Flames are going to force TJ to just jump to his demise. Sap from the back of site needs to be the difference maker. Still alive. And I don't think he's been spotted just yet. That time is ticking down.
Because he threw a flash. There was information that ASAP was somewhere at least around the B side. So they were looking for one more player. Even if they didn't know exactly that he was at new box, they knew that they had to clear someone else out. Now it's 2-on-3 for the retake here, and Slimy and Chell with a job to do. That's started nicely. Chell with the grenade in hand could do a bit of extra damage onto Keen. That nade, though, has not gone deep enough into Dark. Alistair getting away with that kill onto Slimy. Keen onto Chell. 11 for SemperFi. Rooster have gotten close once again, but it does feel like it's just going to be out of reach. A win against SemperFi once again.
I feel like there's been one too many rounds here where you've seen Rooster get the opening pick and it just not get converted. I think, you know, I can count them on one hand, but it's still more than you'd see from a lot of these teams. And that's definitely got to hurt. Half buy down, just giving themselves some form of opportunity in this round. And these pistols, they're going to be looking for an opening. TJ playing a dangerous game, which it feels like he's done all game so far. And he'll pay the price for it. 2 picks towards the B site will trigger the rotation. Slimy spotted, looking for a refrag down mid. But may just be able to catch a timing. Chels walked through the mid smoke for no apparent reason, and both T's were caught with util out. I think he's figured that it was going to be that A-site pop out of halls, and Slimy in the meanwhile, he did make a step earlier towards Boiler. So Ali, full focus on the flank. But I dare say you just carry these AKs across into the next round.
Yeah. The trouble is, like, it's such a nice play for Chell, but it doesn't actually really achieve a whole lot because the other portion of the offense had the bomb in tow, right? If the bomb was in middle there and SemperFi had to come back and retrieve it, then yeah, maybe there was something in that. But unfortunately, it just ends up being 2 nice deagle shots, and that's it. So another round on the board for SemperFi here. They're going to go up to 12, and yeah, taking these 2 AKs into the next round is something of a win for Rooster, but given that they have got their backs against the wall, they will certainly have been wanting more out of this round, more than just a couple of AKs and a loss, but it is what it is. And now the great fight back has to begin. They need 5 in a row to make it to OT.
Five in a row. Haven't seen that since, what, the start of the series, pretty much. At least the start of Nuke. We'll see where we end up at the end of it. But a quick tactical has been called. Is it enough to get across the protocols, to get across the points that need to be made? And are we going to see aggression from Rooster once again? Bottom banana smoke thrown. Reinvested early towards this B site. Terry dropping the util off. And SemperFi. Only Savage to try to make a little bit of noise. Silent drop lineup. Going to be used there. Sneaks back out to second. SemperFi. Contact play towards the top of banana, but that flash gets all the info that Rooster need. Doesn't matter regardless. TJ going to be picked off by the AWP. And fake dink through the corner. Might incentivize ASAP to go through aggressively, but he's just holding on to church control and hoping that the other boys can survive on the rotate. Trying to deal with Savage here is a big task. And we might be all done here, Jordan.
Yeah, it's looking likely. ASAP's going to get his head banged off there by Shady, and that will probably be that. A 5v1 requested here from Slimy. It's going to be too much to ask. And once again, it will be SemperFi for probably the 4th or 5th time in a row taking a series win against Rooster. This one reasonably competitive. You know, they did have to work for it there, SemperFi, but again, they do remain the top team in Oceania, and they will claim the ESL Challenger League OS Season 50 Cup #1 for themselves.